Hi there, these comments are for AP, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to pass the TOEFL iBT, and I wrote all 700 of them, and guess what? It took 7 years to create all of those lessons that you see at my website. No joke. Okay, I'm going to listen to your response. You completed independent speaking practice test number 1. This is a very tough question. Describe a place you visited as a child. What is your favorite memory while visiting this place? So notice you have 2 parts of the question. This is where most people have the most trouble. They don't really describe the place. Why? Their vocabulary is not that specific. They don't have a good enough vocabulary to answer this part of the question. And sometimes they're not paying attention when they look at this. What is your favorite memory? You're focusing on one specific thing, one memory that you had while visiting that place. Okay, here we go.
In my view, the most memorable trip that I ever had was visiting Thailand in summer of 2014 because of 2 reasons. First reason, scuba diving. Right from the childhood, I had a passion to do scuba diving, and in this trip, I did scuba diving and had an opportunity to see creatures, different sea creatures and fishes under the water. Second reason, this was the first time I boarded a flight and visited other country besides India, and I was pretty thrilled about it. Because of all these reasons, I think the most memorable trip that I ever had was visiting Thailand.
Alright. Now notice when you look at this question, it's not why is it your favorite memory, or why did you enjoy visiting the place. That's not really the question. The question is describing the place and then explaining a favorite memory.
In my view, the most memorable trip that I ever had was visiting Thailand in summer of 2014.
Now here's what you got to do. You might want to say, well, was visiting a specific beach in Thailand, and then once you mention that, then you can describe the beach and the water, the ocean. You can recreate the scene a little bit first, and then talk about your favorite memory scuba diving.
First reason, scuba.
So you're not really organizing. It's not why is it your favorite memory, but what is your favorite memory?
Diving. Right from the childhood, I had a passion to do scuba diving, and in this trip, I did scuba diving and had an opportunity.
I had to what?
I had a passion to do scuba diving, and
so you're having a couple of problems here. You got the T, the D, the P, and the TH consonant sounds. All those consonant sounds you definitely need to practice. You're having trouble with those. You can practice all those sounds in the pronunciation section of my course.
In this trip, I did scuba diving and had an opportunity to see creatures, different sea.
Notice you had an opportunity not do, but to. You need to pronounce the T as a T with more air, not as a D. So you have a pretty heavy non-native speaker accent.
Creatures and fishes under the water. Second reason, this was the first time I boarded a flight and visited other country besides India, and I was pretty thrilled about it. Because of all these reasons, I think the most memorable trip.
You want to say I think, not think. So when you say think, you have to get your tongue between your teeth. That's called an interdental consonant. Right? So if you pronounce it as a T, it's not going to be the same word.
I was visiting Thailand.
Alright, so now the question is, what is your score? So delivery, you generally have quite a few problems with your vowel, your consonant sounds. You're also having problems with your intonation, right? So if we go to the pronunciation section of my course, let me just give you some advice right now. You can kind of see what's going on. So I'm just going to click. Notice how I'm just looking at one part of my course at a time. You don't have to see all 7 steps of my course. You just click on this box over here. See that? That will show all topics, but I don't want to see all topics. I just want to see one topic. Okay, so here I recommend in the pronunciation section here, let me give you some tips here. Let's say, I'm going to say lesson number 19, lesson number 23, lesson number 24. You definitely need to go through those lessons to work on those sounds. In the other part of my course, I think one of the things you need to work on is intonation. So that's lessons 36 through 40, I think will also be important for you. Alright, so let's keep going. Language use. For the most part, you had pretty good control of your language use. Topic development was a disaster. You did not answer the question, really. That's what's really killing you with this response. So what you have to be careful about is you can't just use one template to answer all speaking tasks. So you probably are used to stating arguments a certain way, but if you look at the question, describe a place you visited as a child. What is your favorite memory while visiting this place? You didn't really describe the place. You talked about Thailand generally. You should have been much more specific from the beginning. Instead of giving 2 reasons why it's your favorite memory, just explain one favorite memory that you had while you were scuba diving. Just spend time developing that, and you would have been really, I think, much better with that. Now let me show you some things here. You see, you can't just, when you look at the actual TOEFL exam, here are some speaking tasks that actually appeared on the TOEFL test. My students send me emails and tell me what's happening during the speaking section. You can see some of these, right? So there's not just a one way to answer these questions. That's kind of what you have to be careful about. For example, 16 says, what are your strategies when you're busy with a lot of homework and assignments? Or you have another one, where is it? Give 2 solutions that you think can help reduce air pollution. So the main thing is you want to make sure that you decode, understand what the question is, and then organize your response around that. That's why you practice the TOEFL iBT speaking tasks at my website, so you get used to doing that. Your score here, really, the topic development is what's really dragging down your score, also delivery. I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test.